Come closer. All these fantasy gurus want to give you strategies and draft tips on how to win your fantasy league. There's really only one strategy, and I'm about to tell it to you. It's a secret though. All you have to do, write this down. All you have to do is draft the number one running back in fantasy. That's it. Do that and you'll win your fantasy league. Thanks for tuning in. If only it was that simple. Figuring out who the RB1 in fantasy is like winning the lottery. Everybody wants to do it, but there can only be one. Today, I'm going to talk about a handful of running backs who are a sleeper pick to finish as the RB1. Let's go. If you get the RB1 in fantasy football, 9 times out of 10, you have a very good chance of winning your fantasy championship. But that's a hard feat to accomplish. With injuries, running back by committees, the standalone workhorse running back, it's hard to come by in today's NFL. But there are small opportunities to look into to find that workhorse running back who's going to get you 300 touches. For starters, what you have to understand is every single year there's going to be a new handful of running backs finishing as an RB1. Everyone likes to just copy and paste the top 10, top 12 running backs and just think they're going to redo it. It's very difficult to repeat for quarterbacks and receivers, but especially for running backs. Let's take a look at it. In 2022, the RB1 was Austin Eckler. 2 years later, he's lucky if he goes in the third round. Christian McCaffrey was the RB2. Josh Jacobs was the RB3. Derrick Henry was the RB4. Saquon was the RB5. Nick Chubb, who might not even have a leg at this point in his career, was the RB6. Ramondre was the RB7. Tony Pollard was the RB8. Aaron Jones was the RB9. Joe Mixon was the RB10. Dalvin Cook was the RB11. And Leonard Fournette, King Lenny, who's not even in the league anymore, was the RB12. Look at how much change has happened in just 2 years. Just from 2022 to last year, there were 7 new running backs in the RB12 position. That's over half. Again, you can't just copy and paste the same running backs. Obviously, there's pretty much a new RB1 every single year. At this day and age, the best bet to go as your RB1 obviously is Christian McCaffrey. But if you don't have the one-on-one, you're not going to get him. But last year, CMC once again finished as the RB1. Breece Hall as the RB2. Travis Etienne at 3. Rachaad White at 4. Raheem Mostert at 5. Joe Mixon at 6. Kyren Williams at 7. Derrick Henry at 8. Bijan at 9. Jahmyr Gibbs at 10. Alvin Kamara at 11. James Cook at 12. James Cook had a good end of the year. Alvin Kamara didn't even play the first 4 games. Jahmyr Gibbs again finished strong at the second half of the year, which tends to happen with rookie running backs. Bijan Robinson, based off of expectations, had a bad rookie year, but in all actuality, he actually had a good rookie year. Derrick Henry, as long as he's active in the NFL, he's going to finish as a top 12 running back. Kyren again got hurt. He only played 12 games, but still finished in the top 10, which is very difficult to do. Joe Mixon is, more often than not, probably not going to finish as an RB12. He's on a new team. Rachaad White finished as a top 5 running back solely based off of receptions. I don't see that happening again. Travis Etienne figured out he was a workhorse running back. And obviously Breece Hall. To say that offense was very putrid, he had actually a really good year. Christian McCaffrey, again, we're going to recommend him. He's going to be drafted as the RB1, deservedly so. But again, it's a small likelihood he finishes as the RB1. It's very difficult to do in back-to-back years. 10 of the top 20 running backs last year were on different teams this year. Again, there's just so much change every single year to year. New players, new rookies, committees, injuries. Very difficult to predict. Let's look at this year's projected top 12 running backs. Again, CMC, Breece Hall, Bijan. I would definitely say CMC is in a tier by himself. Breece Hall and Bijan, I would swap. I would have Bijan at the 2, Breece Hall at the 3. But I really couldn't complain at any one of those picks. If you have a top 3 pick, those are my top 3. You got Jonathan Taylor, Kyren, they got Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon at 7, Travis Etienne at 8, Devon Achane at 9, Isaiah Pacheco, Kenneth Walker, and Rachaad White rounding up the top 12. Now, do I think this top 12 is accurate? Somewhat. There's just so much mystery involved with these running backs. Rachaad White, again, he's going to get the receptions. Baker's back. He's trusted. So is Mike Williams. So is Chris Godwin. That offense is still intact, and he's a trusted option for the Bake Show. Kenneth Walker, we don't think Charbonnet is really going to get a ton of work again this year, but you really don't know. He was a rookie last year, so his limited playing time could have something to do with that. But again, it's a new coaching staff, so we'll see how this goes. Isaiah Pacheco, he's, because he's on the Chiefs and he's always going to have the ball and opportunity to score on the goal line with this top flight offense, he's going to have a lot of fancy points. So again, he's really a low-end RB1 for me. Travis Etienne, again, same as Kenneth Walker, rookie drafted behind him last year, Tanks Bigsby. Same coaching staff, so I really don't think Bigsby's going to get a lot of work, but they are going to give him a little more. We've already heard it in the offseason, just like last year. They want to limit the amount of touches for Travis Etienne to make sure he's healthy for the playoffs. Again, but like I said last video, they said that last offseason, and he finished as a top 3 running back. So you have to really understand that coach talk at this point in the offseason is just that. Take it with a grain of salt. Kyren Williams, as long as he stays healthy this year, I do think he has a chance to finish the top 5. Jonathan Taylor in the rushing offense with Anthony Richardson is going to be so dynamic. My top 12 isn't too much different, but I do have a couple of other guys, like Alvin Kamara, who finished with over 70 receptions last year, and he missed 4 games. Derek Carr is going to check the ball. Again, I'm a Raiders fan. I've watched Derek Carr all of his career. His nickname is Check Down Charlie. He's kept, Latavius Murray, Josh Jacobs, Jalen Richard. He's kept all those guys fantasy relevant based off the receptions. He's going to keep doing the same with Alvin Kamara. And in all honesty, he's probably the best running back he's ever played with. So he's going to get the ball to Alvin. He has 4 more games this year. He's obviously probably not in the long-term plans for the Saints, so they're going to use him up, saving him for the better half of his career. They're going to use him up while they have him. So one of my top sleepers I would say is Alvin Kamara. I just very worried about the Saints offense, especially when it comes to scoring. But again, he's going to get the receptions. He's going to be in the realm of 75 to 80 receptions again this year. If he can get you close to double-digit touchdowns, whether it's receiving or rushing, he's going to be a top 5 running back. I do have Josh Jacobs in my top 12 as of now. He is nursing a hamstring injury this early in the season. You really hate to see hamstring injuries because they do linger. But again, because it's so early, we'll see what he looks like come preseason. I do like James Cook. I do think Buffalo lost Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. They lost their heavy hitters on the offense. And we've seen what James Cook was to this offense towards the second half of the year. They want to rush the ball. So not only is he going to get the benefit of the rushing touchdowns, he is dynamic coming out of the backfield, and Josh Allen trusts him. So that's a winning combination for fantasy football. High-powered offense, goal line work, hella receptions. What else more can you ask for? So we got Alvin Kamara. We got James Cook. I do think that Kyren Williams, some people wouldn't really call him a sleeper pick, but again, he's being drafted as a top 12 running back. A lot of people are scared because of the rookie running back they drafted out of Michigan coming in and possibly taking work for him. But we've seen Sean McVay his whole career focus on a workhorse running back. That's the offense that he runs. That's what he likes to have. So I don't think Kyren Williams, as long as he stays healthy, is going to come off the field that often. This offense is going to be firing on all cylinders as long as they're healthy. Puka, Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, Tyler Higbee, Kyren Williams. These guys are going to have a top 5 offense, and Kyren Williams will benefit from that. And probably the top sleeper to finish as the RB1, in my opinion, would be Bijan Robinson. Now, he's by no means at all a sleeper pick to finish as an RB1, but again, we're talking about finishing as not a RB1, which is top 12, as the RB1. The elephant in the room is obviously they signed Kirk Cousins. We've seen what Kirk Cousins has done to running backs. We've seen what he did for Dalvin Cook. He finished as a perennial RB1 every single year. Again, he had a really good rookie year, but he didn't get the workload that we all wanted. They didn't want to burn him up and shorten his career in just the first year. Arthur Smith is gone. The new coaching staff understands what they have in Bijan Robinson. Tyler Algier will not be a thorn in his side. As long as Kirk Cousins stay healthy, we have to see what he looks like coming off the ACL. But I do think that he's going to put Bijan in a position to be finished as the RB1. The offense is going to be way better. Bijan Robinson is going to have a lot more scoring opportunities. He finishes as a top 5 running back in receptions. And again, that was splitting time a lot of the time with Tyler Algier. So again, my sleepers to finish as the RB1, Bijan with probably 75 to 80% chance. You got Kyren Williams, who, as long as he stays healthy, is going to finish as the workhorse running back in a top 5 offense. I like James Cook. I like what he's going to do with the opportunity. He has the talent. Now he has the opportunity. He finished as a top 12 running back last year. Let's see if he can finish as not only a top 5 running back, but the RB1. And where you're getting him in drafts is even better. He's being drafted in the 2nd round. You can almost get him in the 3rd round. So we'll see come draft season. So you got Bijan, Kyren Williams, James Cook, and Alvin Kamara. Again, because of the receptions total with Alvin Kamara, he's always going to be there, the top 12 running back. As long as he can get positive regression in that touchdown production, he's definitely going to finish as a top running back. And I could easily see him finishing as a top one as the RB1. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. Remember, subscribe to see more content from me and everyone here at Just in Time Media.